We all want to grow and get better. I mean, we want to learn new skills, go new places, explore, try new things. It's human nature. It's one of those things we all have in common. I mean, think about it. What's the value in staying stagnant? What would life be like if you're always doing the same thing? I think about this a lot, particularly because I ride the same route day after day, month after month. Wasn't it Albert Einstein who said something like, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity? Am I insane? Are you insane? Because I know you're doing the same thing. You ride that same route. You have your routines. You do it over and over again. Is this bad for us? Are we insane? Turns out we're not insane. There's a good reason we do things over and over again. It's important. You need to hear about it, so let's talk about it. Of course, we know that there's a lot of benefit and necessity to the things we do routinely over and over again. But we tend to think of those things as a burden, not as a growth opportunity. Generally, they're things that we need to break from, or we think we need to break from. Now, I just took a big break from my routine and went on a long vacation, almost a month. And it was well worth it. I mean, we learned a lot. Highly recommend it. But it was stressful. I mean, we were in a country that we didn't speak the language. We were navigating trains, which we normally don't do. We were finding our way. And it became a bit stressful. Highly enjoyable, but a bit stressful. And so on the way back, I started getting this feeling that I wanted back into my routine. I wanted to get back in my familiar bed, do the things I normally do throughout the day here, ride my bike on that same route that I ride every time. So I dug into this topic in depth, and I found out there really is benefit to repeating things. Not just that we want to do it, there's real benefit in it. And it all boils down to really three things. And it is, number one, you can recognize and make more changes in yourself when you're repeating things. And I'll get into that. Number two is it frees the mind. It frees the mind to start thinking of other things and be creative. And number three, you can really help make physical and mental changes to your body. You can improve your body. So let's talk about those three things. And so first, let me debunk a myth. It was not Einstein who said doing something over and over again and expecting a different result is the definition of insanity. It came from a book in 1983 written by Rita Mae Brown called Sudden Death. And it was about a tennis player, it was about a whole bunch of stuff, but that whole quote came from the idea that you don't want to repeat bad relationships. It wasn't about what we all do. It wasn't about repeating the same activity over and over again. There's a saying, it's called the Stonecutter's Credo, that talks about a stonecutter who continually taps in the same place, the same way, 10, 100 times until the stone breaks perfectly. It's this repetition in basketball, in tennis, in cycling that allows us to perfect ourselves. It's not a burden, it's perfection. So by repeating things, we're not really expecting a different result. We're expecting to build on our results. We're expecting to get stronger, to get faster, to get better. It's really a process of perfection. That's why they say practice makes perfect. So that brings me to the first benefit, and that is making changes to yourself. There's a movie that I really like, one of my favorites, called Groundhog Day, and it's about a weatherman.
Phil Connors? Phil Connors, I thought that was you.
How you doing? Thanks for watching.
who is kind of going through a rough time in life, and he seems like everything's the same. He's forced to go back to this town called Punxsutawney, where there's the groundhog that is going to predict the weather for the coming days or coming months.
This is pitiful. 1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat.
And it turns out that he ends up going through that day, covering that topic, and not doing it very well because he's tired of it, and wakes up the next morning and he's forced to repeat that day. And this goes on throughout the movie. And I'm not going to ruin the movie for you if you haven't seen it, but I will say that because of that repetition, the day being exactly the same day after day after day, he begins to recognize things that are changing in himself or things that he needs to change in himself, because the days become so monotonous, or that activity, the environment that he's in becomes so much the same that he starts recognizing the differences in himself. And this is a philosophical finding that came up back in the 1700s, where they found that if you can somehow fix your environment, so we have this tendency to believe that we are not going to change, that there's not much changing happening to ourselves. Mainly that's because of all that's going on around us that's changing. But if you can fix the environment around you, this is how the theory goes, you begin to notice the changes in yourself because you are actually changing. It's that interaction between you and the environment. So if you can fix the environment, you begin to see the subtle changes in yourself. And once you see those subtle changes, you can then improve upon them. So that is sort of what repetition does to help you recognize the change in yourself and help you improve yourself. So this brings me to the second benefit, and that is freeing the mind. And this is really what I noticed when I was on a trip, and it took a lot of mental effort to get through that trip and explore and experience all these new things. When you're repeating the same things over and over again, your mind begins to be freed of the burden of thinking of new things and starts to be able to open up and learn new things. So rather than the distractions of a relatively, maybe perhaps chaotic environment, and you effectively create a more serene environment, you become more mindful. You start to recognize your heartbeat. You start to recognize the rhythm of your breath, that rhythmic nature of cycling. If you're out on the bike, just really start to add to that feeling. You enter in what we call a flow state, which you become much less aware of time and much more aware of your own accomplishments and your own self. It has physiological benefits. You become less aware of pain. So that brings me to the third benefit, and that is improvements to the body. You're perfecting your body when you repeat these things over and over again, and you can see it because by controlling your environment, by repeating things over and over again and allowing the environment to just sort of fade into the background, you start to recognize the both mental and physiological changes to your own body. And this could be within the cells of the body, the ability of the body to uptake more oxygen. You're going to feel more capable each time you complete an activity. There's these physiological changes that are happening within the blood cells and the capillaries themselves they're making you stronger and making you able to endure more. By repeating the activity, you actually start to feel less pain. Because it's a repetition, the pain starts to fade into the background a little bit, and that allows you to achieve more. All of this is leading to benefits to our body, the cardiovascular benefits, the muscular benefits, the flexibility benefits that are occurring because we're doing this activity. And by repeating it, it makes it that much more impactful to us. So after considering this whole idea of repetition more deeply, I feel a lot better about it. I don't feel like I'm a boring person. I definitely don't feel like I'm insane for wanting to repeat things. I like that I've found, and I believe this, that I can change myself, I can clear my mind, I can improve and perfect my body by just repeating things over and over again. I mean, I don't feel like I'm repeating the same ride over and over again. Just like Phil Connor, who was repeating the same day over and over again, that day became different as he became different. So when I repeat the ride, I mean, there are changes happening out there. Right now it's fall, the leaves are changing, but there's changes in me occurring. Every ride I get a little stronger, I learn a little bit more about the route. It becomes more serene because it's familiar, and I get stronger. That hill that was difficult in the beginning becomes easier and easier. I perfect my cornering, perfect my technique. There is so much that's happening when we go out there and do the same ride over and over again. It's a no wonder we crave it. It's a no wonder we do it. I just can't wait to get back out there and do it again. And that's what I was feeling when I came back from my trip. So I've learned that familiar route, that journey home, can be just as meaningful, just as powerful, just as purposeful as that journey away. And let me know in the comments if this is something that resonates with you and what you think about repeating. Do you repeat the same route every time like I do? I'm sure that many of you do. I hope this has been helpful. Share this with anybody you think could get benefit from it. Please subscribe. Really enjoyed putting these together. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go for that same old ride and see what else I can learn. See you next time.